Hello, everybody. It's Steve again. Um, some things I want to touch on is a lot of things that don't get brought up enough is things parents go through with raising a child with special needs, and one of those things that many of us experience is anxiety. Um, I do have my moments of it. I don't wouldn't say I've got necessarily anxiety disorder or anything, but I do have my moments with that. And so, I want to touch on that a little bit. And I think just about every special needs parent has some form of anxiety, some of us greater than others. One of the things that we all worry about is the future for our children. And, who's going to take care of them? Are they going to be able to live independently? We don't live forever, unfortunately. Trust me, I'd love to live forever if I could, but that's not what happens. So, that's one thing we all do worry about. But for me particularly, what worries me is kind of related to that, and that's the sense of unpredictability. And unpredictability in the sense of anything can happen at any moment with your child. My oldest one has a hard time with boundaries. He doesn't know appropriate boundaries, and he doesn't have a sense of danger. So that's always a great concern of mine. I always got to keep my windows locked. I keep cabinets locked. My doors are locked at all times in my home, even in the middle of the day, because he's been known to run away, and it's happened before. And we end up getting a GPS on him. We've got an angel sense. So if you don't have an angel sense and your child's got a hard time with, knowing appropriate borders, get an angel sense, get a GPS. It's the best thing. I've used other GPSs before, and I'm telling you, angel sense is the best. I know it's not cheap, but go out and get it. Don't, just get it. That's my highly recommendation of that product. So that's one fear of mine, and the fear of an emergency could happen also any moment. It has happened, and it's happened sometimes when I've been at work and I gotta get back up to pick my child up. And one time he got sent to the hospital, and I had to meet him at the hospital. That was my youngest one, 8, and again, boundaries. But he's got a little bit more of an idea of boundaries than my oldest son, Matthew. But that's a whole different story. So that's really what worries me is the unpredictability. Something can happen any moment. I could be at work and I get a phone call from anywhere, and that's a great concern of mine. This emergency could happen, and it has happened, and that's why I would never I try not to venture real far from them. My rule is be within an hour and a half of where they're at. And I try not to travel any further. And I know some parents out there have to travel for work or whatever the case may be. That's just a personal thing with me, is that I don't like being a far distance from my children. So I know I rambled on a little bit on there. So this isn't the greatest video, but I want to touch on the subject because it doesn't get brought up enough. So take care, everybody, and have a wonderful day wherever you may be.